Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We've got a bunch of callers on hold, and we'll get to them in a couple of minutes and see what their questions are and see what fun answers Spirit has for us to share this evening. Today is the 23rd of September, which is my mama, Mary Jo Ryan's birthday. And she is in heaven. She's been in heaven for 19 years. So she would have been 96 today. My brothers and I were texting back and forth. And my brother John said, yeah, she would have been 96 today. And I responded, I said, she would have hated that. So happy birthday to my mother, Mary Jo, also known as Nana, and sending her love in heaven. And I'm sure she's showering it on all of us. So, alrighty, let's go to the phones. Our first caller is Maverick. Hi, Maverick.
Hey, Julie. How's it going?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
Doing fantastic. Thank you.
Terrific. Everybody, I was on Maverick's show, a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that?
Yeah, about a week or so, week and a half. I think the episode came out Monday.
Okay. All right. And what a delight to get to be on your show. I invited him on, everybody, because I wanted to introduce him to all of you and let him tell you a little bit about his show and the work he does and what he's all about.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So tell everybody about your show and the work that you do and why you started in this area.
Yeah, so I'm Maverick Vardøger and just had an interest in the afterlife pretty early on and just have always been into learning about spirituality, world religions, and anything that would tend to be evidence of the afterlife, which eventually led to the podcast that I am the host of, Evidence of the Afterlife, where we spoke about a week or so ago. And that's just one of the channels that I use to connect with people and draw from various different walks of life and areas of expertise, anything from mediums to people that have had near-death experiences to astral travelers to authors, doctors, anybody that can shed light on the mysteries beyond the veil and just kind of curate all that information in one place for people who are like me and they're looking for answers and they're looking for more information. So it's a nice way of bringing it all together. And that followed my writing, my recent career in writing. I've written 4 books, 3 of which are published right now. The first one is The Vibrational State, 3 Years of Out-of-Body Experiences, which is about my own research and personal experiences with out-of-body experiences. The second book is called Lead Line, One Man's Search for Spiritual Truth, which is kind of a synopsis of all my studies and research and experience over the years and trying to make sense of everything and all the things that tend to show that there is expanded consciousness, whether it's through near-death experiences or out-of-body experiences or religious experiences, psychedelics, anything that would kind of tend to show that there's more than just this physical life. And then recently I transitioned into writing fiction, and my first adult science fiction novel is called Her Eyes Were Green, which is available now in all formats. And then the next book will come out sometime next year.
Wonderful. My eyes are green. You're not talking about me, are you? I don't think we've met. We hadn't met
that's
yet.
That's a really good coincidence.
I know. I have green eyes. Yeah. I was the black sheep of the family. Everybody else had blue and I had green, which is no big surprise because I was always the one doing things differently than everybody else. Still am for that matter. Was there a catalyst? Was there a catalyst, Maverick, that led you to want to explore and investigate this afterlife whole niche of information?
Yeah, I'd say there's a couple of different events or moments in my life that propelled me further and further into these topics. The first was just early on being around the age of 11 or 12 and realizing that I'm going to die one day, and it scared the crap out of me. And I wanted to know what happens after that. So that was kind of like one of the earlier moments that got me starting to read about religion and at the time get really into Christianity. And then as I got older, as I became a father and was like, I really need to figure this out, because now it's not just me figuring out what I believe. Now I have to teach my children, the right from wrong. And somebody once said, it's better to teach your children how to think as opposed to what to think. So I really took it on myself as a responsibility to learn as much as I could from all the different respects and specialties that look into these type of things. So along that path, I started meditating and reading about cosmic consciousness and near-death experiences. And then I started having my own out-of-body experiences, which I go into great detail in the books explaining for anyone that's not familiar with it. It's basically having a very similar experience to an NDE, a near-death experience, except you're not dying. You're not nearly dying. It's more of a willful experience. So when that happened to me, that radically changed my worldview, because I had never experienced that before. And I also hadn't read about astral projection or OBEs at that point in time. So that really propelled me and motivated me to learn more about that, so on and so forth, writing the book, starting the podcast, and being here today talking to you.
Wonderful. Out of all of the people, and thank you so much for having me on your show. And by the way, everybody, the link to Maverick's show is on all my social media at Ask Julie Ryan on all this social media, the Twitter and the Facebook and the Instagram and Pinterest and all that jazz. But Maverick, what are the top, say, one or two things that you've gleaned out of all those interviews you've done with guests on your shows, and also the research that you've conducted over the past couple of years? Is there something that stands out, a topic or two that stands out that seems to be the norm or surprised you, or both?
Yeah, I would say so. To look at it from kind of a broad perspective, and then I'll give you a more specific example. From a broad perspective, when you're trying to figure something out or conduct an investigation, we could say, I kind of take the idea of an investigation in my second book, Leadline. When you want to figure out what happened, it helps to talk to multiple witnesses. And when you start to look at multiple accounts, multiple stories, and you start to see all the similarities, whether it happened today or hundreds of years ago, or regardless of their personal religious background or belief systems, you start to see all the commonalities. That tends to paint more of an objective picture out of multiple subjective testimonies. So the world of near-death experiences has provided so much amazing evidence for the afterlife because there are so many similarities. And as far as a specific example, what I think is the most compelling are past life memories, whether it's reported by children that didn't have access to the internet. It was, before the internet, and they were able to share details about a prior life that was later verified. Maybe they could still speak the foreign language. Maybe they still had appetites or cravings for food that they used to eat, which is not custom for the current life they're living in. One of my earlier episodes, it might have been my second or third or fourth, I'm not sure, but I interviewed an author named Robert Snow, and long story short, he did a past life regression, recalled a prior life, gleaned a bunch of information out of that hypnotic session, and was able to eventually track down the prior life and verify a number of different specific bits of information that convinced him thoroughly that he lived that prior life. And that's still one of my favorite cases and examples that it's just mind-boggling how amazing that is for someone to be living now and know a lot about a prior life, and it all checks out and it's all verifiable. So that's one of my favorite categories of.
I do that a lot with clients and every once in a while on the show. And it is so fun to do past life stuff because, like, to your point, oftentimes we can get information that can be corroborated with online historic documents. And the thing about the little kids that's so funny is oftentimes these kids have these memories, again, that the information can be corroborated, and they can't read. And there's no way that they would know this stuff. It's just no way. So I'm laughing when you said some foods. I hate bananas. I wouldn't eat a banana if it was the last thing on the planet. And my mom said even when I was a baby, I used to spit them back out at her. So I always laugh and say I probably was a monkey in a past life and just had way too many bananas. I don't know. But even when I've made banana bread, in the past, I've made banana bread. I hold my breath when I'm mushing the bananas. I can't even do the smell of them. It's just, So, all right. Well, we will have all of your links to connect with you in the show notes. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us. And everybody, we'll be right back after the break and get some callers on. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Thanks, Maverick. Take care.
Thanks.
Welcome back, everybody. Our first caller after Maverick. Don't you love his name, especially in this time where I think it's Top Gun 2 is getting ready to be released. So I thought that was way cool that was his name. But our next caller is Heather. Hi, Heather.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi,
Julie. Sorry. Hi. How are you?
I'm terrific, thanks. How are you? You doing good?
Good. Doing good.
Where are you located? Where are you located, Heather?
Chesapeake, Virginia.
Chesapeake, Virginia. Okay. Are we on speaker by any chance? If we are, can you get me off speaker, please?
No, I'm not on speaker.
Okay. All right. I heard some feedback. I guess it's on my end. All right. Well, good. Do you have a question for me?
Yes. I've been having some issues with my health. It's been almost 2 years now. I've been going to hospitals, and I'd like to get some more answers because they don't seem to have the answers that I would like. Or I'm not going to go through whatever they think the regular medical doctors say. I know there's other natural ways of healing.
Okay.
So
what are your symptoms?
Do you have a scan on me?
Yeah. Do you have a symptom that you want me to check? Just for time's sake, I only can take one question from each caller just so I can get as many on as I can. So you can schedule an appointment with me and we'll have an hour and I can do a full body scan and stuff. But is there one thing in particular that you'd like for me to check?
Okay. Well, I've been diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer.
Okay.
And it's like everywhere.
Okay.
It's in my torso.
Okay.
And I'm doing my best to heal it. But I haven't found the right way to what I need to do yet. And I was wondering if you could, I guess, see what I could do. Sure.
Absolutely. Let me get you on my radar, Heather, and we'll see what's going on. And how that works is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit because we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. And when we're attached to a body, we vibrate more slowly. Simply because the body has mass. So I'm going to watch a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama. It's going to hook into you in Virginia. And then I'm going to have a hologram of you in my mind's eye. And it's going to be as if I'm looking at an X-ray or a CT scan or an MRI. And two things will happen, Heather. Something will be identified, and then immediately thereafter, there will be some type of energetic healing that will happen. And those will integrate into your body. That can happen instantly. It can take days, weeks, months. It may need some kind of complementary care, like change in diet or surgery or physical therapy or something like that. But certainly it's always our spirit's choice how to integrate or even whether to integrate a healing. So it's spirit working through me and with me on these healings. So that's a little bit of an overview of what we're going to do real quickly here. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama. Heading east over to you in Virginia. All right. Got you. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. By the way, I don't edit anything I get when I'm scanning somebody, Heather, because everything can be healed. So plus, who am I to decide what you need to hear? You know, I'm the conduit. So I can see the cancer all over. What I'm going to do first is do a DNA healing, Heather. And I do this a lot with cancer patients, pretty much all the time with all cancer patients. And I'm watching 7 strands of DNA come out of an X chromosome on you. And DNA is the recipe that tells the cells how to behave. And it's comprised of 4 nucleic acids, and they're represented by 4 letters, A, T, C, G. And when they get a mutation in them, that's when cancer happens, that the cells are acting in a way that's less than optimal, obviously. So what I'm watching happen is I'm watching the sequence of those nucleic acids get rearranged, get resequenced, if you will. I watch these little strips come out of an X chromosome. You know, everybody has an X. Girls have an X and a Y, or girls have 2 X's and boys have an X and a Y. So I always see it come out of an X. And it looks like a piece of paper that you'd find inside a fortune cookie with the fortune written on it. And so that's what I'm watching. Imagine watching a Scrabble game in warp speed. That's what I'm watching happen. Those letters get rearranged. Yeah. And when they're resequenced back to a normal recipe, if you will, then they snap back in. And it reminds me of a tape measure that you pull out, then you hit that little red button. Mine has a red button and it goes flying back into the container that holds the tape measure. So 4 strands have already gone in. I got 3 more to go. Seems to be that 7 is the magic number of DNA strands the first time I work with somebody who's dealing with cancer. What are your doctors saying? They want you to do chemo and radiation and stuff like that, or what are they saying?
Yeah, they've told me this. This is my second occurrence. They've told me this for years, and I've just said no. I'm not going to do that because I can't see how that would heal me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well. So last strand is reconfiguring, and that's going back in. So got that. Please consider doing an appointment with me. Then we'll have a whole hour to do a deep dive. And I'm scheduled out a couple of months, Heather, but if you get on my calendar and then click on the reschedule button on your confirmation email, it will show you when people are rescheduling. I had 2 people today reschedule for the next week. So you can check that, but you got to get on my calendar and then you'll get a confirmation email with the reschedule button, and hopefully we'll get you in real soon. And we'll do a deep dive and see what we can do to help. All righty. Good luck with everything. Thanks for calling. Okay. Take care. Bye now. All right, everybody, time for another quick break. When we come back, we'll get a bunch more callers on. So stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Our next caller is Chrisy. Hi, Chrisy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing good.
Terrific.
Good.
Please tell everybody where you're located.
I live in Kingsland, Georgia.
Okay, where's that?
Far south. You know where Jacksonville, Florida?
Yeah.
It's far south once you get to. We're right on the border. So.
Oh wow.
The little St. Mary's. I don't know if you've heard of Kings Bay, Navy Bay.
I haven't.
I haven't. That's here.
But I should come explore it. It sounds like
we're growing a lot. Cumberland
Wonderful.
Island. Have you ever heard of?
I have heard of that. Yes, absolutely. Well, terrific. Well, welcome.
St. Mary's is really pretty.
Okay.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for calling in. Do you have a question for me?
Yes, I was actually calling in about my son, Kay. Mm-hmm. We had a reading with you before, but like me and Kay didn't take us. We ran out of time, but we have another one scheduled with you later on.
Great.
But he's 19, and I don't know, he just has little issues, but lately, there's a cyst came up like on the bottom of like his head kind of, but it's inside. Like they said he has to get a, ultrasound, to kind of see what it is. But he's always had like his heart rate gets real high, like which he has a lot of anxiety, but it seems like that's not what it is. It'll be like 116 just sitting there and then he feels like his heart hurts. But I don't know if it's all related, but he's worried about this like hard cyst in it. It's like almost on the bone. Like, we don't know what it is, and we're like his skull at the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do, Christy, is I'm going to connect to you and from you to Cade, and I'm going to ask his permission if I can scan him. And if he says yes, I will. If he says no, I won't. Just because ethically, I don't think it's right to do that. So here we go. He better. He's going to be fixing his own dinner tonight, right? Yeah. All right, here we go.
That's right.
Here we go. All right, got you. Cade, I'm talking to your mom. Is it okay if I scan you? He goes, sure. Okay, good job setting that up. So you can feed him that gourmet meal you had ready for him. Okay, so
that's right.
I'm seeing it. It looks like it has sebum in it. Do you know, this is going to just crack you up when I say this, Christy, but it reminds me of Cheese Whiz. Do you remember that stuff that you squirt out of a can onto crackers? I mean,
yeah. I used to love that.
Yeah. It's just Frankenfood. But I remember as a kid, we had it. And that's what it looks like. It looks like sebum in there. I don't think it's going to be any big deal. It does not look malignant to me. It looks like it's got Cheese Whiz in it, but it's kind of a yellowish golden color instead of the orange color from Cheese Whiz. So that's the consistency. I see those cysts all the time, and they're not a big deal. They may want to cut it out, especially if it hurts when he lays on his head at night on a pillow. But I think he's gonna be just fine. Are you working with a dermatologist?
Well, we went to one, and then I don't know where else to go, so they said maybe go to a plastic surgeon. But we need an ultrasound. So I thought I would just go to the doctor at the urgent care and just see if they could schedule that first, and then go from there. Because I did go to the dermatologist last week. Okay. And now I just have to try to find. We live in a little, we don't have a lot of doctors. We go to Jacksonville, but I got to just try to get it scheduled,
Right. Right. I think he's going to be just fine, and they'll take care of it. And I just don't think it's going to be a big deal. So I look forward to having you for a whole hour when I get to talk to you again.
I'm excited.
Okay. Me too. Thanks, Christy.
I'm going to try to reschedule. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Check the reschedule button. All righty. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks.
All righty. Let's go to Amy next. Hi, Amy.
Hey, Julie. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. Please tell everybody. I can. Please tell everybody where you're located.
I'm in San Diego.
Poor baby. I'm California. So sorry. You're in such an awful place. I'm being facetious.
I live in such a great little area by the park. Makes me happy.
We had San Diego weather here today. It was a high of, I think, 71 and sunny and just glorious. So it was, I think the average temperature year round in San Diego is 72. It's pretty amazing. We haven't had hot nights
this year. Great. Even up to now, we haven't had those hot, steamy nights. It could be hot in the daytime, but before the nights are nice. So it's great.
Terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
Yes. I want clarity. Julie, I'm on this life purpose, and I got to do it before I die. And Lord knows I'm not getting any younger. Do my guides have any information? Is taking the Eating for Psychology course with Mark David important for me, or I just got to do a podcast and start educating people about food? That's it. And what do my guides want to tell me?
Fear is holding you back. Just do it. Just do it. Use the 2-minute rule. Is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? If it is, get out of the road before the bus runs you over. If it's not, take a step. It doesn't mean that you're going to broadcast tomorrow. It means you take a step towards what you want to do. And then you'll be guided into another step, and then fear will come up, use 2-minute rule, get out of the fear again, take another step, and you'll be guided every step of the way. Is it important for you to take that course? What I got was, if it's interesting to you, take it. If it's not, don't. And I think that's with everything, Amy. I think that's with everything. That's how we're guided. A lot of us believe, or we're led to believe, that when we come in, we should have a roadmap of what our purpose in life is going to be, and just kind of, okay, you stop here and you stop there and you do this and you do that. We create it as we go, and we're led based on what our past experiences are in a lifetime. And our purpose is very generalized. It's something that we want to explore. Like, you want to create. Well, there are unlimited ways to create. We create every day. And so we're led along that path. I mean, heaven knows we've all done different things in our lives that have been interesting to us at the time. And that's how we're led. And then we want to explore something else. We're led to something else. So just take that step, use the 2-minute rule, and you're golden.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for calling. Bye now. Okay. Let's go to Miss Carla next. Hi, Carla.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Terrific.
Okay.
Yeah. Where are you? Where are you located?
Out in the Panhandle of Nebraska.
Okay. Terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. I too have been extremely ill for 2 years now. I'm basically disabled. Ended up losing my job because I can't work because of all the things that are going on with me. I've been to, like the first caller, I've been to every type of medical doctor you can imagine and had every kind of test and scan done, and they can't really find anything. I have extreme dizziness and vertigo, chronic fatigue, and some of the blood tests are showing high inflammation, but they can't really decipher where or why I have high inflammation other than possible reoccurring Epstein-Barr or something along the lines of that. So, anyway, I can't find any answers, and I'm extremely ill and homebound, and I'm just turned 60, so I'm not very old, and I don't know what to do.
Okay. All right. Let me get you on my radar, and we'll see what's going on. It's not very often that I hear the Panhandle of Nebraska. It's usually the Panhandle of Florida. So you caught me off guard with that. I thought, oh, it's another
sure.
almost Florida girl.
Yeah.
You said the Panhandle of Nebraska. I've never heard it described that way.
Nebraska.
So
Yeah. My daughter my daughter lives out in Chicago. I've been out to Chicago 5 or 6 times visiting her until all this happened, but I love it out there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So got you on my radar. And where have you had mold exposure? Have you had a water leak in your home or your office where you were working, or a previous home?
Actually, it's been about 10 years, but we had water in the crawl space about 10 years ago in the house that we have now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you still got mold in there because you're full of mold. So what I'm doing is I'm clearing it out, Carla, and that's what's going on with you. So there's a book I want you to get, and it's called Toxic by a doctor named Neil Nathan, MD. He's in San Diego with Miss Amy.
Okay.
And if you can't concentrate enough to read the book, go on YouTube, put in his name. You'll see whenever a new book comes out, most people are doing a book tour or they're interviewed a lot, and you can find a synopsis of it on YouTube. So Dr. Neil Nathan, MD, it's called Toxic. It's going to give you a lot of information. Consider scheduling a full hour appointment with me. We'll do a deep dive. We'll get get you on the road to recovery here with this. This is all fixable. You just got to get with somebody that knows what they're doing. So, all righty, Carla, hope you feel better.
Okay.
You're welcome. Bye. All right, everybody, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll get more callers on, and stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show, so we'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's go to the phones, and Margaret's our next caller. Hi, Margaret.
Hi, Julie. I'm so excited. I've heard about you through Dr. Christian Northrup, who I love, and so I'm really excited to be calling in. I'm calling just outside of Boston, Massachusetts.
Thank you.
You can
I can tell.
hear my thick Boston accent.
I can. I was going to ask if you were in Boston or Maine. And what's really funny about this, Margaret, is my son is in Boston on business this weekend, and I was texting with him during the break, and he sent me a picture of the clam chowder he's eating at Legal Seafood right now in Boston. In Boston, and here you are. You're from Boston.
Well, a few other quick things. I also have green eyes and was always the one in my family to question things and was a little bit of an outsider, which you mentioned earlier about yourself. So right. I feel a little bit connected to you.
That's right. We make the world go round.
That's right. So, on kind of a sad note for me, my brother passed away in 2016. I wasn't able to know about it or be with him, but I wanted to ask you, he had served in the military, in the army in Germany, and he was there in the 80s. So he didn't have any type of active duty, but he served 6 years very valiantly and did a great job for our country. What I wanted to ask you is why he came back so psychologically tortured. He went in as a very young man, he was only 17, and he came back really a very sad, alcohol-dependent person. And so that wasn't the person that I grew up with. And as a family, no one ever really could figure out why. So I miss him, and I just wish I could know what bothered him so much that made him change so drastically.
Okay, what was his name? What's his name, Margaret? Stephen. Okay, he's standing next to you. I've already connected to you. He's standing next to you on your right. Stephen, Margaret wants to know what, if anything, happened in Germany when you were there that caused you to start drinking. And there are some hereditary things. There are some genetic genes that's kind of repeating myself. I believe it's the DRD2 gene is the addiction gene that people are. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be an addict. It means you have the predisposition to become an addict, and then things can trigger it. It's kind of like you got a loaded gun. A loaded gun doesn't kill people unless you fire it at somebody. So, Stephen, was there something that caused you to start drinking? He's saying the rigor of the tour. Can you be more specific? I don't know what that means. Rigor of the tour. I mean, that can be anything. So he was enlisted. He wasn't an officer. He didn't go in after college, Margaret?
No, he went in actually as a teenager. He was only 17 and he needed permission. It was during the Iranian hostage crisis, which some of us may or may not remember.
I certainly do. Yeah, absolutely.
Different. Yeah.
Okay. All right. He was exposed to some things in training that just didn't set well with him. He was saying they were asking him to prepare to do things that he just didn't feel like he could do. And he said he felt like he was being brainwashed into being being prepared. And I think that's what and I don't know, I'm not a military person, but I'm married to a military person. I'm married to a guy who grew up in the military. And I know that that's what basic training's all about, is they want you to become compliant so you can follow orders. I would have lasted about 2 minutes in there and I'd been in the court martial. I would have said, I'm not doing that. And I would have been in trouble. But he said that he felt like he was brainwashed.
Like him. Okay. Well,
he said brainwashed.
Julie. I appreciate it so much.
He's saying brainwashed. He said that 3 times, Margaret, and he's saying he felt like he was being coerced. So it was something that went against his ethics.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. Thanks for calling.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
You're most welcome.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Let's go to Kathy next. Hi, Kathy.
Hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be on your show.
Well, thanks. I'm delighted to have you. Where are you located?
I am in West Central Illinois, about 4 hours from Chicago, maybe 5. Yeah.
Okay. You got a quick question for me?
Calling. I do. This has been quite a traumatic year for me. But it started out with losing my mom on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
And after 25 years, I find out that I'm probably going to have open heart surgery again.
Okay.
And so I was hoping for a scan, something that maybe could help. And I also wanted to desperately know if Mom was still with me,
Yeah, she's standing next to you on your right. Whenever we talk about them, they always come in immediately. All you have to do is think of her. Every spirit has a frequency that they keep throughout all their lifetimes, Kathy. You just think of them. It connects your satellite dish head to their frequency. They come in immediately. So what I'm doing is I'm roto-rootering out your vascular system and roto-rootering the bypass that they did.
Mm-hmm.
So how many bypasses did you have?
Well, it wasn't a bypass. It was a mitral valve repair.
All right. I'm seeing a bypass. So I think sometimes the heart will grow little bypasses on their own to get around problems.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'm seeing. And I'm watching it get roto-rooted out. And on the valve, what we can do. So are they talking about putting in a pig valve or an artificial valve? What kind of valve are they going to put in?
No, he's highly recommending a mechanical valve so that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. My daughter-in-law had that done a couple of times. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to work on that on the break and schedule an appointment with me, and we can spend a whole hour working on your heart and everything. Okay. All righty. Thanks for calling, Kathy. Everybody stay with us. Time for another quick break. When we come back, we'll see who's next. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. We do this show on Thursday nights at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-775-7035, and the access code is 483-620#. Now, this information is available anywhere you can download at the Ask Julie Ryan Show. We're on pretty much every podcast network. We're on Alexa. We're on YouTube. And you can find it on my website, AskJulieRyan.com. Please remember to subscribe and leave a review. If you leave a review, you'll be entered into a drawing for a free session with me valued at $200. And so, that'd be fun if you're the winner. I pick somebody the first Thursday of every month. And the reason I do that is because it's a thank you to all of you for listening and calling in. And also because I know $200 is a lot of money to a lot of people. So it's something that I can do. I give away 12 free sessions a year. Just so leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/Julie. Call-in details can also be found on all my social media channels, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest at Ask Julie Ryan. And we always post a reminder the day of the show. While you're on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. It's a question somebody has submitted online, and then I answer it, and it's always fun. I get so many questions that come in, and then one is chosen each week. So it's always fun to see which one it is. You can also schedule an appointment with me at AskJulieRyan.com. You know the trick. Get on my calendar. I'm scheduled out a couple of months. Just get on whatever day you can and then start checking the reschedule button that's on your confirmation email, and closer appointments will become available. And we're going to talk when we're supposed to talk. Some people that have been waiting a while, they always say, when I scheduled it, I had something else I wanted to talk to you about, but now today it's something different, and I'm really glad that I waited because this is more important to me. So I always just trust that we talk when we're supposed to. On the Angelic Attendant Training class, October's full. January is full. I limited to 12 people. In April of 2022, I have 8 people signed up already. So I limited to 12. I got 4 more slots left for April of 2022. If you're thinking about taking the training, please go ahead and sign up so there'll be a spot for you. All right. This week, our question comes from Stephanie, and Stephanie lives in Slidell, Louisiana. That's how my husband Tim would say it. He says Louisiana. I say Louisiana, but Louisiana. And she said, "Hi, Julie. I wanted to seek advice from my friend who recently transitioned from COVID-19 in February of 2021. She's the only one that knows me like the back of my hand. She knows my relationship with the father of my children, and I need to know her advice on moving on without him as a spouse and just as a father to my children. Any advice she gives will be amazing. I miss her so much, and I just know she can hear me." You're right, she can. Our deceased loved ones can always hear us. And what I said earlier to some of our callers is just think of them, and then they immediately come in because their frequency is triggered by our satellite dish head. And then she went on to say, "I miss her so much, and I just know she can hear me. Thanks for your help with this, Stephanie." And here's my response. "Hi, Stephanie. My condolences on the loss of your friend. To get some information for you, I first connected with you and from you to your late friend. She said, quote, 'You're a rock.' She also said, quote, 'You've been through so much this year, and it's only September. Stay strong,' end quote. Your friend wanted you to know she's always around you and is supporting you from heaven." Now remember, everybody goes to heaven. All dogs go to heaven. All people go to heaven. She said, or I said, "Now with regards to your relationship, she suggests you move on with your life and find happiness with someone who loves you and your kids. In addition, I asked God, the universe, your spirit guides, angels, and deceased loved ones the same question. They unanimously concurred. They all agreed. My feeling is let's just ask all of them all together." And they agreed with what your friend said. So just say something to a deceased loved one or a spirit with whom you want to communicate, either in your head or aloud, and your next thought will be their answer. It'll feel like a thought in your head. How you'll know it's them is it'll be the first thought you have, and it'll arrive within a second. You always hear me say, as fast as you can snap your fingers, within a second. Sometimes even before the thought is finished. If you think about the answer for more than a second, that'll be your brain talking to you. Hope this helps. So the reason why sometimes, and I get this all the time, where I'll get spirit talking, and the person with whom I'm working will, or even if I'm saying something to a spirit, I'll get the answer back before my thought is all the way thought out. And that's just because time doesn't exist in the spirit world. times a human creation. So we're thinking a thought in our head, either a question or a sentence, like a statement. And Spirit's already got it and they're answering us. So that's what happens. The more you do this, the more you talk with Spirit, everybody can do it. The more you talk with Spirit, the more validation you're going to get for the information that you receive. And then you're going to trust it more. The more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get. And then it's just going to be second nature. So you don't need to stand on any crystals or hot coals. You don't need to twirl around 3 times and raise your hands in the air. You don't need to be chanting for an hour before you communicate with Spirit. You just ask a question. Think of them. You connect to them. Ask a question, make a statement. They're going to answer you as fast as you can snap your fingers. It's really easy and it's really fun. And it doesn't have to be somebody who's dead. You can communicate with spirits that are alive, that are attached to people's bodies. That's what the Aborigines do. They communicate telepathically across vast distances, sometimes thousands of miles. And you can communicate with any spirit that's deceased too, whether you know him or not. Who do you want to talk to? You want to talk to Shakespeare or Aristotle or Mother Teresa or whomever. You just think of them and you can communicate with them. So hope that helps. Thanks for your question. Okay, let's go to the phones. And our next caller is Roxanne. Hi, Roxanne.
Hi, Julie. Hi.
How are you, girl?
Can you hear me now?
I can. How you doing?
God, great. I'm doing fine. You are so informative. This is such a gift. Okay, so thank you. We had a great hour call. Everybody out there, you've got to do that. My life has never been the same. This is so funny.
Oh.
And I'm serious. Okay.
It's really fun too, isn't it? I mean, we laugh a lot when we're on, no matter what's going on. Somebody's got like some serious disease or something. I promise you, we laugh and I'll get some crazy old visual, like your earlobe looks like a bowl of whipped cream or something crazy. And you just, when you're working with Spirit, it's pure love and pure joy. I mean, it's fun regardless of what's going on. So, well, Roxanne, tell everybody where you're located.
Wonderful call. I'm in Henderson, Nevada, right outside, as you know, of Las Vegas. I've got the view. Okay. So, yeah, that's where I am. Beautiful weather right now. My question that I forgot last week and the week before, I didn't get it in. I just was so busy on other stuff. I had a puppy before, and her name is Emmy. And she suspiciously, I gave her to a friend to watch and take over when I had to move to another state. So she willingly took the dog, and it very many years older have gone by, and so she's gone, but she kind of disappeared. So we're trying to figure out what happened to Emmy. We don't know. I mean, it's just like she's vanished. This is the weirdest thing. And
how long ago?
The dog, my dog. She vanished about 3 months ago.
Okay.
But
she's with a new family.
The dog for about. Really?
She's with a new family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she didn't get picked off by a hawk, or you see her spirit still here. She didn't she had, okay. So she went away.
She's with a new family. What kind of dog was she? Was she little?
Yeah, a Yorkie.
She's with a new family.
And she had, she kind of went in circles, and she didn't see very well and hear very well. So we were thinking that maybe it was a hawk that came down in this backyard or something. But, I mean, I find that so hard to believe. Just vanished.
Yeah, somebody picked her up. I see somebody in a car stopping. Did she have tags on?
No.
Okay. Yeah. They just thought they thought she was a stray, and they picked her up and they took her home. She's fine.
So she's
good.
Still here.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I wanted to know. It's been on my mind, and she had problems. She's an old dog. So, you wonder, okay, awesome. Well, that's good to know. Thanks, Julie.
You're welcome.
That's
Thanks
what I wanted
for calling.
to know. Okay, I'm staying tuned.
Bye, Rox. Thanks for calling.
I'm going to try. Bye, Julie.
Oh, fun. All right, let's go to Pat. Hi, Pat.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
Hi. I'm great. Where are you located?
Good. I'm in flyover country in Iowa.
Iowa. All right. You know what? I hear my music playing, which means I got to take a quick break, Pat. So I'm going to hold you over the commercial and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Everybody stay with us and we'll see what Miss Pat has to say. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Before the break, we had Pat from Iowa on the phone with us. So hi, Pat. Still with us?
Hi, Julie. Yep.
Hi, girl. All right. You got a question for me?
Hey, we talked in the past, but, an hour is never long enough. So, I have a question about my son tonight.
Okay.
He has difficulty sleeping. And so, I don't know whether you can scan him because he's just sometimes, I don't know if he believes in this kind of stuff, but anyway, maybe he'll say yes. But if
okay,
not,
what's
maybe,
his name?
His spirit is Carrie.
His name's Carrie.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Is he in Iowa with you?
He's in Kansas City tonight.
Okay. All right. So here comes my laser beam. Heading from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading northwest up to, as you say, flyover country. I was in Minneapolis last weekend and got to go to my friend's lake house too, a couple hours north. And we were talking about flyover country and how lovely it is. And I even got to see some leaves that were changing colors. So that was kind of fun when we got up there. I know. So that was fun. All right. All right. I'm talking to your mom. Is it okay if I scan you? I get a no. That's all right. We'll talk to his spirit anyways. And that doesn't surprise you, does it? You were kind of half expecting that. Yeah. But we can talk to his spirit. And the reason why I do that, Pat, is because I use the example of pneumonia. If somebody has pneumonia, they're going to tell us what they want us to know. But then we're not going to look at their chest x-ray without their permission. So it's the same thing. I don't scan somebody without their permission just because I think it's unethical to do that. So, all right. What's going on with the sleep? Is he on the computer a lot?
Well, he's an IT guy, so yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's what I'm getting. Is he's not giving his brain any, he's on the computer all the time, even before he's trying to go to sleep. Or he's watching TV, or he's doing something with the electronics, and his brain's just too busy to fall asleep. Have you ever heard of Have you ever heard of the 4-7-8 breathing, Pat?
I have, yes.
Okay, breathe in for 4, hold it for 7, breathe out for 8. Have him do that 8 times in a row. The other thing is the blue light blockers, the glasses that block the blue light. And you may want to, and you can order those on Amazon or a bunch of different places. You may want to suggest that he get a pair of those if he doesn't already have it and start wearing them. I've heard you start wearing them a couple of hours before you go to bed, and that helps your brain quiet down. Okay. Those are a couple of things that he can try. So, and then talk to him and tell him what we're doing. Good luck with that. And then I'll be happy to try and scan him again another time.
Yeah. Because sometimes he says his back hurts and that wakes him up and so he doesn't sleep all night.
It's his brain. Yeah. His brain's wound up.
It's his brain.
It's his brain. He's looking at he's looking at those computer screens all day. So he's got to give his brain a chance to calm down. Okay. So I hope that helps. Awesome. Great talking to you.
Thank you, Julie. Yeah.
All righty.
Yeah, great
Bye,
talking
Pat.
to you too. Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye. Let's go to Sadie next. Hi, Sadie.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Good, thanks.
Good. Where are you located?
I'm in Redding, California.
Okay, terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. I've had some anxiety recently, and I was wondering if you can give me some insight.
Yeah. Do you know what's causing it? Do you have, other than lockdowns and COVID and fires and you got a lot on your plate, I'm sure, like everybody else does, but where you are, you really got a lot on your plate. Anything in particular that seems to have triggered it, or is it just the past year and a half with all the wild stuff happening?
Well, it seemed when I lost my job a couple years ago that I've had anxiety then. And I also have my dad that lives here. And so just not sure if it was just a combination or if something's going on or with my health.
Okay. How young are you, Sadie?
45.
Okay. All right. Let me get you on my radar. I'm looking to see what your hormone levels are. And I keep hearing about all these jobs that are available. Are you finding that, or do you need to stay home and take care of your dad?
No, I recently got a job part-time,
Great.
which I'm excited about.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I keep hearing, I was watching the news this afternoon when I took a little lunch break in between clients, and there are towns that are having job fairs because companies need workers so much, and they're offering all these amazing bonuses and stuff. Signing bonus, your insurance starts immediately. It was amazing, the story that I was hearing. And it's being held all over the country in cities and towns. So hopefully you can find something that you really like. What's that?
It's more of like having to deal with difficult people. And so when I have to have conversations, different situations that are stressful, I'll go into like a little anxiety attack.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard me talk about the 2-minute rule?
Yes.
Okay. Use it. It's golden. It's free and it's convenient. It works anywhere your brain is, and your brain's usually with you wherever you are. So when you start feeling that, that's your internal GPS saying, hey, you're out of alignment. Let's look at if you feel neutral or good, you're in alignment with your spirit. If you feel badly, you're out of alignment. And so you just want to ask, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? If it is, change the conditions, get out of the road before the bus hits you. If it's not, it's fake. Move on. Take that step for the fear. That's what's going on. I think you can use a little bit of hormones. I would look into bioidentical hormones, Sadie. I think you're in perimenopause and that's exacerbating it. So I hope that helps. Time for another quick break, everybody. We'll be right back. Stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. And we're back from the break. Hi, Denise. Denise is our next caller. Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing? Hi.
Good. How are you? Very good.
Wonderful.
My question for you is I'm from Jackson, New Jersey.
Okay, great.
I wanted to know, my dad's been dead for 23 years this month. And I was just wondering if he's around or whatever.
All the time?
Like yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of sign. I feel like I don't ever feel any signs, though.
Okay. Do you ever talk to him, Denise?
Do I ever what?
Do you ever talk to him?
Yes, I do.
Good. Does he answer you back?
I don't feel like he does.
He does. I think Spirit's talking to us all the time, especially when we have deceased loved ones that are around us, and we just don't recognize it. But when you say something to him, like I was saying earlier, it comes in instantly. It's right there.
Yeah.
Whatever the answer is. And then what we do is we say, oh, that's just my brain. That's not really me. That's not really him talking. And it is.
Yeah.
So he's showing me, do you have a rug that was theirs? It looks like it's a needlepoint rug or something along those lines. Do you have like a little area rug that was your parents' or your dad's in your home?
Yes, it was. Yes, I do, in my foyer. Yeah.
Okay. All right. He's saying every time you step on it, think of him. And you probably already do.
Okay.
So he's showing me the rug. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Let's see what else can you do. The other thing he's showing me, do you have bird feeders? Do you have a bird feeder?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You would probably have like a bird bath. We have a bird bath. Yeah.
You would probably know because you'd have to fill it. I fill my bird feeders all the time. He says that there's little ground. The reason I'm asking is there's little ground up seeds on the ground from the birds.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying that that's the birds letting you know that they want you to feed them. Did he like birds?
Okay.
Did they have a bird feeder? Did your parents have a bird feeder?
Not that I remember, to be perfectly honest. No.
Okay. Well, he wants you to feed the birds.
Yeah.
He wants you to feed the birds. You know, it makes me think of my favorite movie, Mary Poppins. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. You know, that whole song. So, yeah. So he's saying that. Let's see if there's anything else. He's talking. Is your mom still alive or is she deceased as well?
No, she's deceased too.
All right. Have you felt like you've smelled her perfume, Denise?
Sometimes I feel like that.
That's what he's saying. That you think you're smelling your mom's perfume, and you are. And a lot of the time he's with her.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got signs. You just needed somebody to point them out to you. Yeah. So talk to him, and his answer's going to be immediately coming into your head. So, all right. Thanks for calling.
All right. Well, all right. Thanks so much.
You bet. Take care. You too. Bye. All right. Let's go to Heather. Hi, Heather.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, this is Heather.
Hello, Heather.
You've got your second Heather for the night.
I know. Absolutely. A popular name.
Yeah.
Where are you located, second Heather of the night?
Yeah. So I'm currently in Denver, Colorado.
Okay. You know, second Heather of the night makes you sound kind of like a superhero to me. So maybe you have one of those capes. Maybe you have a superhero outfit on or something. Excuse me. Well, you got a question for me?
Yeah. I have a question, and it's kind of tied into medical and something going on with spirits on the other side. I'm not sure if I could tie those together, but I do have an hour-long session with you scheduled for December. So,
yay! Wonderful.
Can I parlay the two questions together, or would you like me to choose a genre?
Well, if they're related.
So in they are, yeah. So in 2016, I was diagnosed with Lyme disease, and this came just after 3 family losses. So I lost my mother, my grandmother, and my father all within a 10-month time period between 2015 and 2016.
I'm so sorry.
It was just a few months after that last, thank you so much. It was just a few months after that last passing that the Lyme disease diagnosis came up in a routine blood test, and Western medicine has done all they can with here's the antibiotics and, trying to do more lab work, and the Lyme isn't showing up anymore. But since 2016, my body hasn't been right, major fatigue. I've been getting GI flare-ups too. That one put me in the emergency room recently. It was, it's just been rough, and I'm trying to navigate, is this grief? Is this Lyme? Is it something else,
It's yeast.
So I'm not sure if you have time for it.
It's yeast.
Is it?
It's yeast overgrowth. Yeah. So email me, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com. I went ahead and got you on my radar while you were talking. And email me, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com. I'm going to send you a link to the gut biome test. You may have heard me talk about it. It's going to tell you what the ecosystem is in your gut. When you're on all those antibiotics, it just decimates the gut ecosystem, the gut biome. So the gut biome test is a fancy name for a poop test, basically. And it's going to tell you what the ecosystem is. But more importantly, Heather, it's going to tell you, here are your superfoods. Incorporate these into your diet. Here are the foods for you to avoid. Here's everything else. Eat this a lot. Eat this a little. The things with the food to avoid it, they're always a surprise because oftentimes we're eating foods that we think are healthy and they are. They're just not healthy for us right now with our gut biome. And people say, oh, but I love, whatever the food is, pistachios or whatever the food is that test is saying to avoid. And I'll say, well, it doesn't mean you have to give them up for life. Just give them up until your gut is healthy. And that's where your immune system's based. So that's what's going on. Email me. And then what I've done is I've cleared out the yeast out of your system. And you want to, the protocol, stay low on the food chain. God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, do your best to avoid it. Stay away from fermented foods, wine, beer, alcohol, kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt, vinegar, soy sauce, all that kind of stuff. If you got yeast, your gut's a fermentation factory. And you don't want to add fuel to the fire. Peel fruit. There's lots of yeast on fruit. Freeze and reheat leftovers and get a hold of some nice statin, which is an antifungal. NYSTATIN. So it's fixable. It doesn't cause any permanent damage. You will be just fine. And I'll be looking forward to checking you when we talk.
Thank you so much, Julie.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All righty. Take care. Bye, Heather. Okay, let's go to Daisy next. Hi, Daisy.
Hi.
How are you?
Yes, Daisy from Ocala.
Daisy from Ocala. How are you, my girl? What's happening? You got a question for me?
Yeah. Yes, is it possible to scan for the Delta virus? I have a dear friend who comes over on Saturday mornings to help me out with groceries and picking up prescriptions and cleaning the house. And Saturday she came in and she wasn't feeling well. And a few days later, Tuesday, she found out that it was the virus. Yeah. So now I'm wondering if she gave it to me, if she's going to die from it. I'm not feeling too happy about it.
The good thing about the Delta virus is it's nowhere near as lethal. It's more contagious, but it's nowhere near as lethal, and people get over it easily. And from what I hear from my doctor friends, there really isn't even a test for it. So it's interesting that they're talking so much about it, but I'm not a doctor. I don't know, but that's what I've heard. So no, you do not have it.
She has the Delta because she hasn't lost her appetite or sense of smell.
Yeah. But you don't have it. You're good. You don't have it.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. Well, thanks
that's all I needed to know.
Well,
my friend is not going to die from it?
I don't believe so. No, it's not lethal. I mean, it's contagious, but it's like the flu. It's not a big deal. No, most people are just fine with it.
She found out Tuesday, and her doctor sent her right away for a 2-hour infusion to the hospital.
Perfect.
So she's doing better.
Okay, great. Sounds good. All right.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to know that you didn't give it to me.
Okay. I think you're good, Daisy.
Thanks a lot, dear. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I got somebody from Boca. Hi, what's your name? Boca 561 area code. All right. Well, we'll come back. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll see who the mystery person from Boca is. Stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Welcome back. Our next caller is Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Julie. Thank
How
you
are
so
you,
much
girl?
for taking my call. How are you? I'm doing
You
well.
are most welcome. Please tell everybody where you're located.
I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay. Well, good.
I'm calling because of my... Go ahead.
I was going to say, you got a question for me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, absolutely. I'm calling in reference to my 16-year-old daughter, Victoria. She gave me permission to talk to you. She's actually adamant. She's like, get some answers. She's having a lot of, like teenagers have, anxiety. And I was wondering if you saw maybe that homeschooling would be better for her than going to a regular high school, because that's what she's doing right now.
So she's going to a regular high school now, or she's homeschooling?
Yes. No, she's going to a regular high school. She's also working 2 jobs. She has a lot on her plate. She's going to leave one of her jobs. I keep begging her to do that. Mm-hmm. And I feel that maybe homeschooling would be best for her, but we're just indecisive.
How does she feel about it? I'm getting homeschooling is going to be in her best interest as well, Michelle, because she can get her work done in a fraction of the time. Everybody I know that homeschools their kids say, oh my gosh, they do their schoolwork in the morning, and then we have the afternoons to go do family field trips or whatever. And it's just takes so much less time.
Well, I know firsthand because I'm a teacher and I'm a tutor. I just opened my own company. So I know what it's like, and I've homeschooled her before. She's just concerned of the silly things, like, oh my goodness, I won't have prom, I won't my friends. She has tons of friends. I'm not worried about her social life. Mm-hmm. I'm just concerned that, maybe she will miss out on, I don't even know what. Maybe just the prom or the graduation, or maybe we can take it.
The homeschooling kids that I know, our next door neighbors homeschooled their 3 kids, and they did the homeschooling through some organization where they provided the curriculum and that kind of stuff. And they had sports. They went, I think, maybe 1 or 2 days a week to do science labs and things like that. They had prom, they had graduation with all the kids that are homeschooled. And so it'll expand her horizons with friends.
Right. Well, she doesn't need any more friends. She has more than enough.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you so much, Julie. I appreciate you. Yes.
At that age, it's all about the friends. That's the most important thing. Yeah. So, okay. Well, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
you bet.
You. God bless. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Let's go to Brent next. Hi, Brent.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Hey, I'm in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and I have a question for you. My son got admitted to ICU today, and I'd like you to take a look at him on a ventilator.
Oh, no. What happened?
Yeah. Well, he's asthmatic. And allergies. Well, I don't know. He got a shot 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. I don't know if that's the issue. But he was having breathing problems the last few days, and he went on an ambulance ride to the doctor or the hospital today, and he got admitted. He's on a machine right now.
Oh my God! He's on a ventilator?
Yes, ma'am. Or breathing. He's got something breathing for him. He's all tubed up. Okay,
so he's on a ventilator, or he has just oxygen. He has a cannula of oxygen.
Oh, he's on this machine's breathing for him.
Oh, for God's sakes. Oh my gosh. What's his name, Brent?
Greg.
And how old is he?
30 something. 31.
Okay. All right. Good job, Dad. You have to do the math because you remember the year he's born, right? I know. That's all right. Okay. So connecting to you, going to him. He's in trouble, Brent. He's in phase 7 of 12 of the 12 phases of transition.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He, all right. So I'm unable to scan him energetically because his spirit's out of his body. He's surrounded by angels and deceased loved ones. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to transition. It means he's in the phases right now. People can move in and out. They can move back and forth. They can move up and back. So let's talk to him. Are you ready to go, Craig? No. Are you in pain? Yes. What do you need? More time. Okay. So are they going to let you guys go in the hospital, that hospital, or are you barred from going in every hospital?
Mom was with him right now, I think.
His mom's with him?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Can you go in the morning to be with him?
Yes.
Okay, do that. Stay with them. Are they having restrictions like only one person's allowed in a day and you have to stay there that day, or will they let more than one person in?
So far, we've been told just come as you go on, 24 hours.
Okay, good. All right. I think it makes sense for you to get over there. Are you close by? Can you get there easily?
Yes, he's like 10 minutes away, 20 minutes away, not far.
You may want to go over this evening.
Okay, I will.
Okay. Yeah, not to alarm you. You know, I don't edit anything I get. I just.
No, I understand.
I'm the conduit.
It's not what I expected.
No, I know, but I think it makes sense for you to go over and be there, and just oversee what's going on. Is he coherent?
No, he's sleeping now. Last I heard, he was out.
Okay. All right.
He's had a long few days. It's been going on for a few days now, apparently.
Okay. Yeah. I think you need. I would go this evening if that was my child, and I was you. So, go be with him, and I will keep him in my prayers, and I'll check in with him later in the evening and see what's going on. I'll watch him. So, good luck with all of that, and our thoughts and prayers with you. Okay. All righty. Thanks for listening, everybody, to the callers. Thanks for calling in. If I didn't get you on, please call back next week. I'll do my best to get you on. Everybody, have a wonderful weekend and a terrific next week. And I'll meet you back here next Thursday. Mwah.
Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan, and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.